And we're live. What's going on, everybody? This is Kevin from the Thrifting Lounge, and I have a special guest here tonight. As usual, I have a weekly one-on-one guest, and I believe this is the 5th episode. And so anyways, I have Raiken. We're here a little early tonight. We're going to be doing a contest at the end, so stay tuned. And so I'm going to have Raiken just basically introduce himself before we get into it.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fabulous night. Thanks for having me on this little show, Kevin. I appreciate it. And you know, like I said last time when I talked to you, congratulations on all the success that you're having with the Thrifting Lounge Facebook group. I think you're over what 1,700 members now. I think last time we were at 1,500. Now you're at 1,700, taking off like a rocket ship.
We're getting ready to hit 1,800 here, probably by tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, so you're definitely doing a good job. That's why the people are coming, because, you know, you're putting out good content that's, you know, helping people to make money, and, you know.
This is Kevin from the Thrifting Lounge, as usual. And hey, it can never be perfect, all right? So.
That's what makes the show genuine, though. But yeah, if you guys don't know who I am, my name's Steve. I run a YouTube channel by the name of Raiken Profit. Probably got about over 400 videos now. I've been doing this for a few years. I'm full-time. Just recently got into some office space. Nothing crazy, probably about a little over 400 square feet of office space, plus about 300 square feet down the hall of storage space for my inventory. But I sell mostly clothing. I sell 90% on eBay. I also sell on Craigslist, a little bit on Amazon, and I do quite a few other things to make income as well, which we're probably going to talk about on this show. But again, thanks for having me on, Kevin, and I know we got some good stuff to talk about that is going to help some people out. Yeah,
no problem, man. Let's just get into it. I guess I want to start with you because you've been so busy. Like, every time I write to you, man, it's like, man, he's like, you're like, I'm working in my office. I'm like, it's super good for you. Like, how did that come all about? Because I'm thinking about doing that now, too, where I can have basically like a space to myself where I can have the kids just run around. Down here in Florida, spaces really aren't expensive. Right. I mean, you're better off getting like you have, a space compared to a unit, because it seems like the units over down here are pretty expensive in the spaces. I have a neighbor that has his own space, and he rents it out for like a couple $100 a month.
Yep. Yeah, so pretty much, you know, I started off just working at my house. I had all my inventory in my closet and downstairs in the basement, and eventually I outgrew that once I got more than a few hundred items in my inventory. So then I moved on to get a storage locker, which was probably about, I don't know, 6 or 7 minutes down the road from me. It was like 150 square feet. To make a long story short, ended up outgrowing that as well, and it took, you know, it was kind of an inconvenience to have to go, you know, from my house to the unit and bring it back here. And, you know, I kind of have a small house, so things were always crammed up. I was shipping out of my bedroom, and it was an issue with space. Also, another issue was mixing my business life with just my, you know, personal life. And I don't know, it kind of started getting annoying after a while. So I started looking at office space, not with the full out intent of getting it, but just kind of messing around to see what was out there, what the prices were, like what they had. And the funny thing is, I've never told this story before, but I saw this office space, and the guy ended up calling me and said to come check it out. And a few minutes before I was about to leave, I was going to call him up and say, you know what, I'm not going to go, and just make up some excuse, because I was kind of scared. I was thinking to myself, you know, I don't want to pay the bill and all this stuff. But something told me, just go take a look at it. And I actually ended up renting out the place. It's been a few months now I've been there. Just paid my my second monthly rent over there, but it's been really good. I'm really happy with it. You know, being able to separate my life, kind of. I feel like I know for a fact I'm a lot more productive. I'm a lot more organized. I'm a lot more efficient. Another reason why I wanted to get office space was also to have somebody work for me to help me out, because I couldn't have it at my house. There just wasn't enough room. So now I have my friend/employee coming in about, I don't know, 15 to 20 hours a week. And he takes all the pictures, does all the listing information, helps with the shipping sometimes, helps with a few other things that I'm doing. But you know, more space, organized, separating my business life with my personal life, and just having his help. It's just been a really awesome experience so far with the office space. And I suggest maybe looking into getting it for yourself if you've gotten to the point where you're just like, you don't have enough space, you know. You just got to pay the rent.
Yeah, I hear you. It's funny that you say, you weren't thinking about jumping on it, because I think it's in our human nature to they kind of like becoming professional at eBay, taking it full time. I know James Benner, man, he took a huge leap. I just went into one day to his work and said, resigned, and he made a video on how he's doing eBay full time, and that's what he wants to do. I think everybody's scared, but you never know what's going to happen. When I was living up north, I'll tell you the honest truth. I was scared to move down here, and it was more like my girlfriend that finally pushed me after years of me pushing her. And because you never know what it is, but if you don't take that leap, you never know what's on the other side. What's the worst you can do? Fail, go back,
It's so true, because a lot of times when we're scared to do things, we're scared because we think that it's going to be a certain way. When in actuality, when you actually do it, it's never the same as you think. Like, humans are so smart, but at the same time, we're so stupid because we work ourselves up into a frenzy and we make up these things that aren't even real. And like you said, you got to try because you never know. And I'm so happy now that I got the office space, and I'm so much more productive. It's allowing me to do a lot of other things as well. So, man, that's like the greatest thing you've said, man. You never know until you try. You got to take that leap of faith.
That's how I live my whole life, because we're all immune to being scared one way or another. I don't care what anybody says. One way or another, you're going to be scared. You're scared of leaving something that's already built a foundation on. When we moved from the apartment to here, I was the same way. Exact same story that you said, how that guy called you. The guy called me, and he's like, "Do you want to come see it?" And it was later in the night, and we're like, you know what? Let's go see it. What's the worst that can happen? Because we just started looking at houses. And we came down here. We fell in love. It's 1900, big for us.
Sweet.
And then that night, he let us have it. I was like, and to me, the first time having a house, it meant a lot to me, because it kind of it reassured me that what I'm doing with everything, because I would never be able to do this if I didn't do eBay. So it's like, it reassures me that with what I'm doing, the grass is always greener on the other side. Don't be afraid to take that leap.
Exactly, man. So I definitely would, I would look into anybody who's listening. If you're at the point where, you feel like it's time to build something, larger, more significant, but you're scared, you're not sure if you could do it. As long as you got some money saved and you got things, you've got a few different income streams and you're secure. I mean, I wouldn't suggest doing it if you're living from paycheck to paycheck and, you haven't been doing eBay for too long, and you got to have a foundation formed first, which I think you do, Kevin. Because how long have you been doing this for?
Since August.
Okay, so you've definitely got a foundation formed, and you're definitely looking and ready to take it to the next level.
I knew I was ready to take it to the next level when I think it was December, the run up to Christmas. I only had 40 to 50 items consistently listed, and I sold $2,000 that month. I mean, I was selling Harry Potter stuff. I was selling Guitar Hero, bread makers. I was selling everything I could get my hands on, because I never had that one niche. But because I knew a lot about other things until I started solely on clothing from reading your books and stuff like that. And I mean, with clothing, for me, it was always around, and I always knew a lot about clothing. I told this story this morning, where how I started was when I started selling cars. If you don't have a sport coat or jacket worth $200 or more, then you're gonna get made in front of and stuff like that. It's sad to see, it's bad to see, but that's how it was. So I knew about the Burberrys, I knew about Louis Vuitton, I knew about Yves Saint Laurent before I even started this. And then that's the one thing that hit me. I'm like, wow, I know all these clothing that were in your book, but a lot of them I didn't know. So that was like a huge refresher to me.
Awesome, man.
And I know I talked to everybody, and everyone's like, the one book to have is the 101, is the clothing brands. And I always say that in my group, and that's why I'm giving the book away tonight along with the other two books, and only because when I hear all the time from people like, oh, I'm just starting out, and what do you suggest? Or I see them make a huge mistake buying Walmart brands and stuff like that. And it's like, I want to take them by the hand and literally bring them with me to show them, what, this is what you need to be looking at. This is how you tell a quality piece of clothing compared to a piece of clothing that's really not that quality. And that's why I'm like, your book was perfect. And I was glad it came out. And everybody even says that I've talked to that it's a great tool to have in your arsenal.
Exactly, man. I mean, it took me quite a long time to figure out what worked and what didn't work. And, like you said, there's a lot of new people coming on the scene who are trying to figure things out. And that was me. That was me about, I don't know, a year and a half ago. That was me, you know, with no YouTube videos, with no following, with, you know, no knowledge or anything, no, you know, real significant sales on eBay. And I had to start from scratch. There really wasn't anybody on YouTube talking about it. There was a few people. There was Autumn's Upscale Resale. She had a lot of good information. She pretty much got me started with a few brands. I remember when I first got started, I had a few brands that I knew of that I was looking for. I'd literally go to a thrift store and look for like 3 brands. I'd look for Pendleton, I looked for the Territory Ahead, and I think I looked for like Ralph Lauren Polo or something like that. If I saw that pony logo, I got so excited. Nowadays, it's like Ralph Lauren Polo, like whoop-de-doo. You know, there's so many more better brands. But there wasn't a lot of people making, you know, videos and stuff, so 101 Killer Clothing Brands is pretty much my experience. I know what works, what doesn't work. Obviously, I don't know it all, but I know quite a bit about clothing, and that book could definitely help you out. There's so many more brands, though. There's probably like 200 or 300 more brands out there that can make you a lot of money. But so I think education never stops.
101 was perfect because it's not too long, and it's a big enough list for you to get started. You know what I mean? Because I always hear people say, that's one thing I hear, it's like, oh, Steve, you should put like at least 30 or 40 more brands in there. You know, and I'm like, 101 is perfect because all these brands are out there that you can actually find realistically.
Oh, I'm sure there's going to be another book coming out sometime with some more brands. I don't know when or an exact date or whatnot, but there'll be something more substantial coming out in the future.
Well, you know, I'll definitely be buying it, man. You know that. I'm always buying your books.
It's all good, man. Like I say, you don't need the books. The books are there to kind of like launch you off, to give you like a jump start, to give you like that quick education. But honestly, if you want to spend the time learning on your own and going into sold listings every single day and, you know, researching and buying things and losing money and just seeing what works and what doesn't work, that's fine. You can learn it all over a year period, maybe faster if you're in these Facebook groups and you're really hitting the pavement running. But you know, it definitely is a great resource. But either way, with the book or not, you got to be studying. You got to be looking at the sold listings. You got to be watching the YouTube videos, reading the blogs, going into Facebook groups, because there's so much knowledge out there. It's freaking ridiculous. And you should never be satisfied and say, I know it all. You know, I know everything about clothing. I know everything about electronics, because honestly, there's always something new you can learn. And if you just learn one new thing a day, I mean, that's 365 things a year. Imagine if you just find half of those things and make 20 or 30 bucks in each one. I mean, that's a lot of money. It could add up.
Yeah. I think there's so much, like the category clothing. Everyone's like, oh, you know, eventually I want to get out of the clothing. But for me, it's like I've known it my whole, like, since I was 18. I've known about this type of clothing stuff. And for me to find these brand names that's so cheap, you know, and I know their resale value, it gets to the point where it's like, you know, I'm comfortable where I'm at. I like the women's stuff. I'm getting into the women's clothing a lot. I'm starting to get into, I think I'm supposed to be going up and see Linda Bottino. She does a lot of pre-1970s. I mean, stuff from like the early 1900s to the 1970s. And she knows exactly how to date them by the seams, the look, the feel, the fabric, everything. And I feel that's a huge niche I'd love to get into, you know, because anybody can put a vintage dress up and sell it for 15, 20, 30 bucks. But it takes that extra person that knows this, what it is, what kind of certain dress it is or something, and then use a couple keywords, and that can get you double your money. You know, because I've seen it done. I've done it a few times, you know. So it's like you do that little bit of extra effort, it'll go a long way.
Exactly. And with super niche items like that, those one-of-a-kind items where you need a lot of knowledge to kind of know what it is, you could even start up your own website. I mean, you don't even have to sell on eBay. You start up your own website. You know, you get it built, you use WordPress, which is really simple, or you hire a web designer, you get it all set up, and now they make it really easy to process payments and whatnot. You do your keyword research, you get ranked in Google, and you can start selling on your own platform, especially with the vintage items. So, I mean, you don't have to sell on eBay. You really don't. I mean, the opportunities are really endless depending on where you want to go, what direction you want to move in.
Like you said, you can always just put up your own your website. I've seen a few successful people put up their own Polo Ralph Lauren websites where they have all the vintage stuff, the collectible stuff, and then like 6% of the time, the pictures they have underneath it says sold, sold, sold. So it's like people will find you, like you said, the Google search rankings. I mean, you can always also do, like, this is what my ultimate goal is, like having a little boutique downtown Melbourne over here, and just having a lot of stuff that I find, throw them up in the boutique, and have them listed on eBay. In the store, so whichever one sells, and then have my kids just sit there and play and have like a playroom in the back for them. I think that would be awesome, you know, awesome to have.
there's so many directions you could go just based on the person you are and what kind of lifestyle you want to live. I mean, like you said, I mean, you're interested in getting a little boutique or a little thrift shop put up. I mean, someone could start their own website. You could sell on eBay. You could sell locally, sell through Facebook groups. Just depends what you want to do.
Let's talk about your streams of income, because I know you're starting to get into multiple streams of income, and it's starting to work out for you really well.
Yeah, so I got quite a few things going on right now. I like to diversify. It's just, you know, it's kind of my personality. Like, I've always been like ADD. Like, I'm just moving around. I don't stick just directly to eBay. Like, I could literally put in 60, 70 hours a week if I wanted to and just do eBay full time, but I would go crazy because that's just not my nature. I kind of like to live like an organized, crazy life, if that makes any sense. Like, I like to have my hands in a bunch of different cookie jars and just kind of switching things up because I get bored. I like to move around. I like to do different things. So one new thing that I've been doing recently, and I made a video about this, and it's a really good opportunity. It's not for everybody, of course, but it's the Kindle Publishing. And pretty much what that is it's creating books and putting them on Amazon Kindle. And the beautiful thing about Amazon Kindle is you don't have to write huge books, you know, 100, 200, 300 pages. You could write little 20, 30, 40-page books and publish them on little niche topics. And another amazing thing is, too, you don't even have to write them under your own income. And there's a lot of people searching for books right now on Amazon Kindle. If you look at the statistics, digital books are outperforming physical books by a lot, and the internet's growing at a rapid rate. People are trying to get things online. Everything's going online, and it's a really good opportunity right now if you have any knowledge in keyword research or any knowledge in figuring out what people are searching for, which there's tons of tools. There's Google Keyword Planner. There's the Amazon website itself by looking at the bestseller list. So that's something that I've been doing for about 3 months now, and I'm not making a ton of money. I mean, the first month I made about 50 or 60 bucks, or not even. Second month I was up to like 75. This month I'm actually almost hitting 400 now. It's been taking off, so hopefully I plan on, you know, being able to make a few grand a month, maybe in 5 or 6 months from it. But that's one example of another income stream that I'm doing. I'm also doing Amazon FBA a little bit, Craigslist. Obviously I do YouTube, which pays you, but not a whole lot through Google AdSense. If anybody makes videos, you know that Google AdSense doesn't pay a lot. I've got a few books. I've got the green room. So I got my hands on a lot of different things. And like I said, I don't suggest for everybody to do that. You've kind of got to be a little crazy in the head. But that's pretty much what I'm doing right now, and I'm loving it. I love, you know, I just love doing a bunch of different things, working for myself, kind of, you know, being your own boss. And I don't ever see myself going back to the Cracker Barrel, which is one of my old jobs. I used to work in the restaurant industry, pizza places and whatnot. So it definitely, I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's kind of like adapting to like changing your ways and adapting to different things. Not like you said, not keeping your focus on one item. I mean that's true, because if you look at not Borders, remember they went out a few years ago. Then you got Circuit City. They just couldn't adapt to the change in times, where, like you said, everything was going on internet. And with Borders, it was just way too late for them to even make a comeback, and they ran out of it. Same thing with Blockbuster. You know, some of these, you got, like you're doing, you got to adapt to the change in times, because, like you said, maybe eBay's not always going to be here. There's always going to be something bigger coming up. I know they have 11 Main coming up now, who's owned by Alibaba, and I mean, it's crazy how, like, you can always put it in also internet terms where everything's changing, you know?
Yeah, I mean, eBay's great, Amazon's great, all these, Etsy's great, Craigslist, but a lot of these forms of income are very active, and what I mean by active income is that you actually have to be present there to make the money. And I know Amazon FBA, it's kind of a little different because you kind of do the work once, you source it, right? You box it up, you label it, and you send it off, and when it sells, they ship it, they deal with customer service and whatnot. But in general, a lot of the reselling platforms are very active, so you be there. So that's why I like to also create passive income, which is my books, my YouTube channel, Kindle Publishing. Because say you want to go on vacation for a few weeks, or say you get sick, or say you can't work, or something happens to you, how are you going to keep having money coming in? So that's a question I think everybody should ask themselves, because there's really no guarantee in life. You know, things might be great in your life right now. Things are great in my life right now, but God forbid I could get in a car accident tomorrow, or something really bad could happen. I could come down with a sickness, or something will just stop me from being able to work, and how is money going to keep coming in? So I think for everybody, you know, keep selling on eBay and Amazon and Craigslist and all that stuff, but always try to look for other ways to make money. You know, things that you could do once or twice and that'll pay you over and over again. But you got to make sure you're adding value to people's lives. You don't want to get into the whole scams and all these get-rich-quick schemes. A lot of the things that I do are not get-rich schemes at all. It takes a lot of hard work, and it's very, very slow to build. But once you build the things up, they can make you money, some pretty good money.
Before we get into questions, I just want to talk real quick about, you know, because I get questions, you know, what do you look in a sport coat? Like, let's not talk about brands. Let's talk about the gold buttons, the wool, cashmere, all that stuff. What do you look for in an item?
Absolutely. I'll give a few examples. Like on the sports coats, what I really like is the leather buttons and the elbow patches. That sells really, really well, especially like the Harris tweeds.
Yep.
If you could find them with like the leather buttons and the elbow patches, I mean, that does really well. The blazers, I mean, if you could find them with the gold buttons, a nice navy blue color, those sell really well. Another thing that does really well are the double-breasted blazers. You'll usually see those in brands like even like the vintage Ralph Lauren polos or the Burberrys. Common brand, you'll find the double-breasted gold button blazers is in the Stafford brand. So gold buttons is awesome. Like I said, leather buttons, material. Material could play a really big role in if the item's going to sell or not. And it really depends. I mean, cashmere is an awesome material. Obviously, the tweed material does well. If you find you know, an item that's blended with like silk and linen, that's always seemed to do pretty well for me. Wool is usually the most common material that I'm going to come across, and that's probably the most common material that people are going to buy in terms of like blazers, sports coats, and suits. But size. If you could find the jackets that are, you know, 50, 54, 56, 60 even, if you find, there's a brand out there called Alexander Lloyd. Are you familiar with it?
Yes.
A lot of their items are really big, and I think I just recently sold yesterday. It was a 62 regular.
Oh, that's crazy. I think it's huge.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't go for a lot of money. I paid, what, like $4 or $5 or something around there. It sold for like 30-something. But I've sold those before for upwards of $50, $60, $70 in really big sizes. So, I mean, just like with all types of clothing, the bigger the size, the better. And the reason behind that is it's just harder to find. I mean, when people are looking, like if you're a bigger, let's just say if you're a bigger man, because I sell men's clothing, and you're looking for, you know, a bigger sized item, it's going to be hard compared to like the smalls, the regulars, the larges, extra larges. Those are quite common in comparison to the bigger stuff. So they're harder, supply and demand, it drives the price up. They're also more expensive in the stores as well. So you can usually get some pretty good money for the bigger stuff.
Yeah. All right, let's do some questions now. Do you have your stuff popped up too, or is it just me?
I'm looking in the chat right now, so.
All right, we already covered that. Wheelin' Deal, Willie 5. Hey, Steve, do you think office space is a better thing to get for a storage unit price-wise, or the cost close to the same? I think we already covered that just about.
Yeah, it's about $1 per square foot around here.
Mm-hmm. My fairy treasure said, thank you, Raiken. You helped me make $120 on 2 Robert Graham button-up shirts.
Sweet.
The bomb. Golden Finger Picker has a good question. Where do you see yourself in a year from today?
All right, I see myself pretty much doing the same things that I'm doing right now, just on a bigger level. And eBay right now, I'm not sure how much bigger I'm going to go with eBay. I'd like to stay at the point where I may be making $7 to $8 grand a month off of it. That's the point that I'd like to stay at, just in terms of size and what it's going to take and manpower and whatnot. But I see myself pretty much still doing the eBay, pumping out a lot of Amazon FBA stuff for the Christmas season, but, you know, putting out a lot more YouTube videos, building up the green room, putting out a lot more Kindle books, probably putting out another product for my for my Raiken Profit and whatnot, but pretty much doing what I'm doing right now, just scaling it up and just staying consistent.
Resale Rookie made a good comment about, you know, leaving his job. He said Best decision I ever made. It was like a 500-pound gorilla had finally jumped off my shoulders. Mr. Nanners.
Yeah, I could definitely feel you on that right there. I think I had like a 300-pound gorilla. I don't know about 500, but depends on the job that you had.
Jeff Davidson said, "Why is Kevin not wearing a sweater or bike outfit?" Today I felt like wearing something nice, I guess. It was on the table, and I grabbed it and put it on. I was actually going to put that Rush Limbaugh tie on, but my girlfriend's like, yeah, she's like, you killed the mood. So I'm like, all right, I had to take it off. Yeah. Jeff Davidson said he sells mugs and T-shirts still. I still do the same thing. I start out by selling Hawaiian shirts. The mugs, I think my first time I did the mugs was these Yesteryear collections by Westwood, the original ones from '92, and I sold them for $20 to $30 each, and I had 5 of them, so I did pretty well there. In the course of the time, for me, I'm like, oh my god, it's a huge profit, making like triple my money, which is pretty good, but let's see, outside.
You're so mean to that poor pop.
Golden Finger Picker said he's all ready to publish his new book. Can't wait. Almost.
Golden Finger Picker's publishing a new book?
I think he's joking around. I don't know. He could be serious. Oh, wait. Maybe he is serious because it says the history from Edison phonograph cylinders to LPs, the complete know-how and what to buy for resellers. That sounds good. If you guys have questions out there, please feel free. I'm so backed up. Anyways,
here, I'll read out a question that I can answer, and you could answer it too, Kevin.
Yeah.
The question's from Alan Walker. Question is, what is your workflow for listing on eBay? #1 tip for increasing listing times. You wanna pick that out first, or you want me to go at it?
You can go at it first. I think I have a kid screaming in the background real quick.
All right, so pretty much my workflow consists of, well, first of all, it's me and my buddy / employee. I kind of feel bad saying employee, even though he is, but he is my good friend that helps me. And pretty much I'll kind of paint you a picture of how it works. So I buy all the inventory, I bring it into the office, I put it on the hangers, I write the inventory number on each hanger and whatnot, and I put it in the photography room. When he gets in, he takes pictures of them all, and then he fills out a listing template. And on each listing template, I'm seeing if I have one around here. I don't think I do. No. But on each listing template, it has all the information that I'm pretty much going to take and put onto the actual listing when I finalize it. So he takes the pictures, fills out the listing template. Once he finishes them all, I pretty much get a stack of papers, about 100 papers, and I pretty much just insert them into eBay. And if you check out one of my latest videos, I show you exactly how I do it. So pretty much what I do is when I go onto eBay, this is a quick tip. Instead of typing in, let's say you have a Ralph Lauren sport coat, size 44 regular. Instead of starting at scratch, just type in Ralph Lauren Polo sport coat 44 regular and find a similar one and do sell one like this. And what that's going to do is it's going to fill out all the item specifics. And instead of you having to start from scratch, you could kind of just tailor it to your exact one. So you could change the color, you could change maybe the pattern and whatnot. So that saves a lot of time. Once I do that, I upload all the photos into it, crop them all and whatnot. And when it comes to actually taking the listing template that my employee filled out and putting it in, I pretty much already have one on Word that's blank. So I copy it and I paste it onto the listing description, and then I take the information from the paper that I have and I just relay it over. And I could bang that out really quick. I think I actually have a video of me doing it, 3 minutes and 30 seconds to list a sport coat.
Yep.
So sell one like that. Get yourself a little listing template in Word and have it blank so you can just copy and paste it and fill out the information. So that's kind of my workflow. Like I said, my employee pictures it, puts all the listing information on a paper, gives it to me. I upload the pictures, I sell one like this, and I put it on and I finalize it.
For me, my workflow goes, what are you laughing at? All right, my workflow goes like this.
What you laughing at?
She's always making fun of me, laughing at me for anything. So
whatever. She's like, why is my boyfriend always talking in front of a computer to a bunch of internet people?
Kind of.
Slimy River. She's picking on me.
So, anyways, the way I do it. Do you really have to have a pink pony blanket in the back? All right. Anyways, the way I do it is I start out by taking the measurements, and then I go and I take the photographs. And I upload them. I do the resizing because I shoot RAW on my DSLR, so I don't shoot JPEG. JPEG seems to bring it more noise or whatever you call it with it. It's like blown out a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'll use RAW, and I think it's 64-bit, and it's a huge file. But I cut it down. I basically resize it, and I'll play with the light and stuff like that, and then I'll cut out the background. Soon that's gonna be changed. I'm gonna be getting my studio light in here soon. But it takes me 15 minutes to edit the photos, but I use basically all the photos you're allowed, all 12. So I do it that way, and then from there, I have a template that I just copy and paste, and I'll do, like you said, sell similar, and then whenever I type in my measurements, because I always go by inches and centimeters, because I believe we're the only country in the world that goes by inches more than centimeters. All the other countries go by centimeters. So I do it that way for international buyers. And so I have inches, which is waist. I always double it and put it that way. And then I put centimeters next to it in the same item descriptions. Like I go on the editor description, I'll do chest, waist, length, shoulders, and then the sleeves. And so I'll do it that way. But when you start, like say it's 44, if I type in the 4, it'll already pop up with it pre-templated out. So if it's a 44, I'll click on that, and then I'll already have the centimeters done. That's quick and easy. And then I just change a few things over from the listing template I have, and I mean it works like a gem. And for total time, like if I do a listing from start to finish with the photos, it probably takes me 35 to 40 minutes. Only because I try to do different things with the photos just to make different things pop out. Everybody's different, so I know I take a little bit more time, but hopefully when I get the studio light in here, it cuts it down like 1/3 to.
So you're saying it takes you 35 to 40 minutes per item?
If I have to do it start to finish with the photos, getting the suit. If I'm doing a sport jacket, getting the jacket on, the pockets, all that stuff, all done. It takes about that long, yeah. And editing, because editing for me is the longest. Editing and taking the photos. The easiest thing for me is just doing the listing. But I'm super OCD about it. I'm really OCD about it.
I mean, once it gets to the point for you, I'd suggest definitely hiring someone to help you out because, I mean, right now it takes me about 5 minutes per listing.
Yeah.
And it costs me about $1 for somebody to picture an item and write the listing description down for me. So it costs me about 5 minutes of time and $1 for me to bang out each listing. So if you're buying a lot of items, especially you, I know I've seen your store, you're focusing on items like, do you mind sharing with the folks what's maybe your average sale or what you're working towards in terms of your average sale?
My goal is to be at about 45 to 50.
Oh yeah, I mean, so your price per sale is really up there. I mean, I would definitely look at, if you have the space or once you get an office space, look at hiring somebody because if you could hire somebody for maybe $1 or even $2 to take all your pictures and edit it and list it, would you do that? Would it be worth it for you?
For me, definitely, because I have like over 300 items here that needs to be listed. And
exactly. Yeah,
I know. And I only have I'm down to like 150 now in my store because I've sold quite a few this whole month. This has been my best month for like 3 months now. And but it's like you said, it's so time consuming. I want to be able to get the item and just list it, get the item listed. I'm sick of taking the photos. I have no problem doing the background. But I think once I get the lighting equipment in here, it's good. I won't even have to edit a photo. Maybe just lighten, and that takes me like 2 seconds in sizing. Because that's a huge time killer, is taking the photos, doing different angles, moving it around, dressing them up, stuff like that. Giving them hugs, holding him.
Oh, you got to give him a hug once in a while,
Holding him, sleep. I mean, he sleeps between me and Nikki at nighttime, so I got to show him love because he's giving me money. So it's like.
Well, what a lot of people don't realize is, mannequins have feelings just like other people, and You leave a mannequin alone for too long, and they start getting all depressed. Your pictures are going to suffer. Your eBay business is going to go down the drain.
Now you gotta listen. You seriously do have to take care of them, because if you don't take care of them, you're not gonna sell. You gotta pat them on, like that on the head. And
I had to spend over $200 last month bringing my mannequin to the therapist and everything, and it adds up. He doesn't have insurance.
Yeah, it gets emotional. It doesn't see his clothes anymore. Once you sell them, they're gone. It's emotional attachment.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know. I could go on and on.
I know. Anyways. But let's talk about your photo setup.
My photography setup?
Yeah. I see a seamless background, and I know somebody told you about it. I wasn't too sure who was the one that...
Some guy who runs a random Facebook group with like almost 1,800 Facebook members kind of helped me out with that. Some guy, he's like obsessed with like wearing bike jerseys. What's his name?
I think his name's Kevin.
No, I remember we had in all seriousness, we had a conversation. I think we were talking on Facebook, and I was kind of complaining about my picture's not really looking that great. And you suggested to me, you said, why don't you look at the seamless paper? And you sent me over a link, right? You sent me over a link to a website. I never ended up buying it from there. I ended up getting off of Amazon.
Yeah, they're more expensive. BH Photo, Video, they're expensive.
Yeah, so I ended up getting the seamless paper. But to take a step back, you wanted to know what my photo setup was like? Pretty much like my office, it's about 400 square feet. There's one section that's 300 square feet, and then you walk through another door, and there's about 100 square feet. And my photography setup is in the 100 square foot part of the office, and it has a door, which is really good because I could close it, and I have something over the window, which is helps me to be able to control the light. So also remember, you guys, if you get an office, make sure that maybe there's another way you can do it. I'm not a photography expert, but make sure you can control the light. Right? Because if you have all the lights on in the office, it's going to be really hard to control the light because they're probably different lights than the ones you're going to want to use. But anyways, 100 square feet, my photography setup's in there. I've got a backdrop, which is the 3 bars, right? It's got the 2 vertical bars and the horizontal bar. And then I have the seamless paper on it, and so that's my backdrop, which allows me to have a clean background. Then I have my mannequin, which is a dress form mannequin, which is like a 3D mannequin, the one that I had to send to the therapist and everything. Yeah, he's really a handful. But I've got the mannequin. Then I also have for my my lighting setup, I have 2 lights. What are they called? Like light stands?
Tripods?
Yeah, something like that. There's like I bought a whole lighting. I bought a lighting kit. It's got the light stands. It's got the 2 lights and the umbrella. And the reason why you have the umbrellas is so you diffuse the light through it, right? So there's like not shadows and weird light and whatnot. And then I have my camera. I use for my pictures I use a Canon Elphi or PowerShot 330. You could look that up. I bought that at I actually had one I brought to Austin. I broke it. I dropped it in the Bonafide's garage and smashed up the lens. So then we went to a pawn shop, found the exact same one for $100. They were selling for like 200 and change on Amazon. So I used that. I've got a little clothing rack in there where I have like 100 items they could fit on. It's about $90, but it can fit like 300 pounds of clothing on it. And that's it. That's pretty much my setup. I don't think I'm missing anything.
Okay. Yeah, but basically, I'll explain my setup. It's a little more. This is how it's gonna be, but this is how you usually want to shoot it. Like I was telling you in the offline, if you have one of the light setups, the umbrella or the soft boxes, and you have 2 lights, you're gonna need, and you have that seamless background. That's excellent. I remember you said in a post, you're like, man, I'm missing something, because you're still getting some shade in the back of the mannequin. So what you want to do, like I was telling you earlier, you want to get a monolight and 1 or 2 of them. Try maybe with 1 first. If you have to go to 2, go to 2. You want to have it on the floor facing up. And
I'm looking that up right now as you talk about it. I'm looking up images to see what you're talking about because I have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyways, it's supposed to.
Keep going. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
Yeah, if you look under like photography setups, and it'll show you diagrams what you want to do. What I'll do is after this video, I'll put it in my Facebook group, like diagrams, what your photos, your photos is supposed to look like. And the reason why is that you want to have that white paper. It may not look right because you need a light bouncing off, because light bounces, so you want it bouncing off the back of the paper, and you want it at least 6 to 8 feet away from the paper, because once that hard light smashes that paper, it's going to be great and clear. I mean, great, like your photos are like, you know, invisible, whatever. And what it's going to do is going to bounce off the paper, because light bounces. It's going to bounce off the back of your mannequin if it's too close, and it's going to blow out the whole sides of your mannequin, make it look crappy.
So with the 2 mono lights, those are small, right? They're like kind of little tiny ones.
They're like studio lights. They're maybe like, you know, smaller this way, this.
Now, are you putting them behind the backdrop, going through the backdrop, or are they on the ground in front of it?
So right here's your backdrop.
Yeah.
And this is closer to the mannequin. Okay, I'm far away, but it's close to the mannequin. So you want down, facing it.
Oh. So we're gonna have the 2 big lights going at 90-degree angles, and then
45-degree angles.
45-degree angles. Whoop-de-doo. And 2 lights at 45-degree angles. My dad's a CPA. He'd kill me. But and then the other 2 lights are up a lot closer, kind of shooting upwards.
Yeah, shooting. You want it on the floor, basically shooting. So it's basically, you'll see it. It's trial and error. So you move it around what you got to do, because if you get too close, you're gonna blow out the whole photo from the backside. You want to get it farther enough so it's barely a little bit light touching it. And then you want 45-degree angles, and of course, like I told you earlier, the closer you are, the softer the light. The farther away, the harder the light, the more shadows you're gonna get. So you want it as close as you can get.
It really is a science mastering the photography. Like right now, I'd say my pictures are about an 8 out of 10. I'd say they look very good. I mean, they've improved a lot from when I first got started with taking a picture on the back of my bathroom door with the hallway lights on.
I have an ebook that I can send you offline, and this book, like brand new, is like $60. It's called, I believe, Light and Science and Magic. I think I have the newest edition too, and it just gives you diagrams. Also tells you why light bounces, what light does, how you play with it, how to fix it. And it's really a great tool to have, because I read it and like I know a lot more. I know a lot about how to control light, because number one thing about photos is you want to control the light. You don't want dark, because I still have people have dark stuff. You don't want too light. You want just nice and crisp and perfect.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Since you seem to have a lot of knowledge with the photography, do you have any tips that you can give not only me but the people listening in terms of how to get your camera to act in correspondence with what you're trying to do? Like any tips for contrast and lighting and how to mess with the settings of your camera? Like, is there any tips that you have for that?
What you can do, I shoot manual mode because I want to be able to shoot the like at f13, f11 with the best light. So I can have, because the more f-stops, I believe it's down, like the wider the angle, the more it opens up. So the more it opens up, the more light it opens up. But if it opens up so much, you're going to get an overblown photo, and you're going to get photos that are just out of focus. Whereas if you close it down to f11 to f15, you're going to get that nice, what is it called, clarity or...
right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so that's what you want to do. But some people don't know how to shoot manual mode. There's a little meter that flexes. So if you're allowed to have manual mode, you want to control the meter so it's exactly in the middle. Or depending on how you want to play it, you can do it a little bit above, you can do it a little bit below. Whatever.
You look like a cat.
That's the best tips I can do, because all I shoot is manual mode. A lot of people don't have that. They have cameras, and their cameras do well enough to even for a DSLR. So I mean, I would also suggest just the light, and especially you've got to, that's number one priority for me is the light. And I also do different angles. I do different things. You know, if you have to go on on eBay, search for your item, see what angles are working for people, see what's selling for them. Because like I just switched to I switched the way I shoot some stuff. So I have like the my sport jacket. It comes up over, so like my arms tucked underneath my shorts, and it hangs up like that. Like if you looked at a listing of mine, and then I also have my pictures of my cuffs are like this, super close. So it's like this, but it looks so much better if you look at my listing. And over in the back of here, it's all blurred out, so you have that depth of field. It looks really cool. So I do stuff like that. I'm always trying to learn, because I'm not perfect like anybody, you know. So, but anyways, I mean that's the most tips I can give for right now.
You were just telling me before the show that you were perfect.
No, I don't think I said perfect.
I'm just kidding with. I'm just messing around with you, man.
Now, Golden Finger Picker was going to give me a hard time that I'm perfect. I know that for a fact. By the way, shout out to Golden Finger Picker, and I promised Alex from Pickin' Las Vegas a shout out because it's the only one out of the 30 people or 20 people I think yesterday that commented. Guess who's going to be my special guest? No one got it. They got Bonafide, they got Retro. I think they got College Picker. Like everybody but you, and I'm like, dude, really?
I don't think they want me on the show.
No, I don't know, man. No one likes you, I guess, or me. So.
Yeah, I know it's been like that for my whole life. No.
Join the club. All right, so let's see if we can take some questions from the audience, and then we can do our what is it called? Because you got to get out of here in 10 minutes.
Contest. Contest. Choose our winner.
So you want to take some questions first, then choose our winner?
Yeah, let's take a few questions, then we'll get down to the good stuff, what everyone's waiting for.
Awesome. Steve, when are you going to have Blazing Profits at a discount price? Thrifters are broke. If you guys, I had it as soon as we announced our contest last week. We did a 48-hour only for my group only. A 25, was it 25% off?
Yeah, I think it was 25%.
Now that is pretty disturbing. I'm reading a comment there. Anyways, I don't know if Steve wants to bring it back. I don't know if that's what you want to do, or you want to, whatever you want to do, man. It's up to you.
I mean, I always try to have them once in a while. I try not to have them too often though, because it just, if you guys want it, if you're dedicated to making it work, you'll pay what you have to pay for it. But I have them once in a while, so just follow me. Go to my Facebook at Raiken Profit, and that's the easiest way to probably find out if I'm going to have a sale or not. But just stay tuned. Follow me. I have them once in a while. I have them 4th of July as well.
Someone said, I can't even say it. Let's just say the comments from Bishop Eric. Steve,
Eric.
Yeah, that right before it. It's kind of
Come on, Kevin. Question.
You see any?
I was waiting for you. I thought you were looking.
Do the Bell's Treasure said, do the filtered light help the color, keeping the color of the suit true? If it's the light, if you can play with your white balance in your camera, switch it around a little bit to get that certain level. I think they go by Kelvin or something like that. And I usually try to keep it around 47 to 4900 because that's me with the way I shoot and the lights I have in the house. Kind of, I can work within that and then do everything else with it. But you're gonna have to use your white balance if you can get a white balance card or stuff like that. That's cheap, or a gray card they call them. But you really just gotta play with it. Once you get consistent with your colors on the suits and stuff, then you should be fine. It doesn't take long at all. I mean, if you consistently do this, I asked Steve, does it take you a while to figure out the white balance?
Like I said, I don't take pictures anymore, but when I did, it was really simple. Once I got it down the first time, it would usually work. For the rest of the pictures, pretty close. I always have to adjust a little bit. But you got to get in tune with your camera, Once you get a feel for it, it's like second nature.
All right. I got a question. Steve, do you plan to buy wholesale? Sorry.
I don't plan to buy wholesale anytime soon. I'm pretty busy with the stuff I'm doing right now. But if it comes to the point where I have more time and I want to, go into that direction, maybe I'll look into it. But right now, I don't plan on doing that at all. I'm so busy at the thrift stores right now, so.
I'm the same way, man. I have no time to try to look into wholesale, nor do I even, I'm not big into it because why wholesale at, like, say you go to, like, Nordstrom Off the Rack or something, why wholesale when you can find that stuff, sometimes find that stuff inside of thrift stores and you get more profit from it, you know what I mean?
And I got thrift stores surround my office. I mean, I can literally get a week's worth of stuff in a few hours nowadays. I pretty much got a system down, so.
So did you put a couch in there and you sleep there and stuff like that or anything?
No, but I did recently get a little mini fridge in there, so I'm getting comfortable.
Awesome, man.
People are giving me a hard time. Why are you going to the store to buy it? I said, some things I like to buy new.
Yeah. Golden Finger Picker has another good question. Is it harder to stay perfect than it was getting there? You
Is
want
it
to answer?
harder to stay perfect?
I think what he means is it harder to stay where you're at now than it was than the way
Right.
you.
Okay.
Is it harder for you now to keep basically like your
It's
life?
a lot easier now to maintain it. Like in terms of like where my eBay business is now, like I was explaining earlier, I got my hands in a lot of cookie jars. I'm doing, 5, 6, 7 different things. So eBay alone, I'm probably averaging about 15 to 20 hours a week doing it. Obviously, I've got some people helping me out and stuff, but 15 or 20 hours a week, I can pretty easily bring in anywhere between 5,000 and 6,000 a month. And this month's actually a little more than that, but it's been a really good month. But it's a lot easier, to answer the question, it's a lot easier, I feel, to maintain it once you get all your systems in line. Once you figure out how to get the stuff, what stuff to get, what's it selling for, how to take the pictures, how to mess with your camera settings, how to get the lighting in order, how to organize your inventory, how to ship efficiently. Once you get all those systems in line, it really allows you to move much quicker, and in my opinion, it's a lot easier to maintain.
I totally agree. That's the same way I've been.
It was a pain in the butt building it up at first.
Once you get there, it's just
Yeah.
like it's so much easier and relaxed and less stressful. Like, what do I need to get? I don't know how to do this, because that's the main golden problem I had when I first started. I think everybody had that when they first started. Like finding a niche or figuring out what works for you, because that's the bottom line, is what works for you. It might be electronics, it might be anything like that.
And I'm willing to switch. I'm willing to switch quick if things don't work out. If thrift stores keep getting more expensive, or if I get kicked off eBay, or if something bad really happens, if my office burns down, I'm ready to go in a whole nother direction anytime, because I've got a whole bunch of different things going on. I know someone in the comment section asked, Steve, what would you do? I don't remember exactly what the question was, but what would you do if your eBay business stopped or something like that? I'd go in a whole different direction. I'd tear into Amazon FBA real hard. I'd start hitting Craigslist. I would be on Craigslist like a little stalker, just like peeking around all day long, because I used to do that, and you can make so much money on Craigslist doing that. It just depends where you want to put your time and focus. I would be going crazy in a whole bunch of different other things. So that's why it's always good to have your hands in a bunch of different things, at least for me. Maybe not for everybody, but I kind of try to plan for the worst, just in case.
Adam Hazard has a good comment for you. I just picked up my first time Bahama stuff. If it wasn't for Raiken and a few others for tossing that name around, I would have never picked these items up. Thanks, Raiken.
Yeah, man, you're welcome. It's funny that now it's like Tommy Bahama. I'm like, who doesn't know Tommy Bahama? But I forget that not everybody knows clothing like we do. I remember when I was new and I saw my first Tommy Bahama or my first Pendleton. I'm like, what is that? A Pendleton? A Pendleton? How do you pronounce that? Not that I'm anybody to look up to in terms of pronunciations.
Yeah.
Half the things I pronounce, I guarantee you, if I went to the actual retail store, they'd be like, what brand are you talking about? I'm like, Ermenegildo Zegna. They're like, what?
I always ask people if I can if they have like Starbucks mugs at like yard sales, and like I think I've scored once by asking somebody that question, because you never know. They say, oh, I have one inside the house. I saw it was like a North Carolina one I picked up for 50 cents, sold it for $50.
Yes. A lot of people, they'll ask you, like, are you looking for anything in particular or something like that? And if you have a few things up your sleeve, it could really work in your favor. I know I usually ask for bicycles or video games. I used to ask for silver coins and any coins or bullion like that, because I used to mess around with that stuff too. So always have a few things to throw out to them, because they're going to ask you. And you never know if they're going to say, oh, I got something inside. I mean, I remember when I first got started, I used to ask, do you have any bicycles? And three times out of 10, they'd say yes, and I'd buy them.
All right. I don't know. I think that's about it. Let's do wait, one more question from Holland Hobbies. He always watches my videos, and I watch his videos, so I got to.
What's going on, Holland Hobbies?
Question, Steve. What is a brand that you recently just found out about that is a killer brand to watch for?
Oh man. A brand that I just found out about. There's actually a brand that I'm going to try to figure out how to pronounce it. I'll spell it out for you. Ballantine. Ballantine or something like that. Look that up in the sold listings. Especially like their sweaters and stuff. They could bring in some ridiculous amounts of money. I think I just found out about that a few days ago. But Ballantine. Look that up.
Mine, I think, would be Alexander McQueen. Oh, sorry, I think, yeah, Alexander McQueen. You look that stuff up, it goes for ridiculous money. I've actually
I was just going to say, good luck ever finding that brand.
I know. It depends where you live, though, because I've seen some people find them, and I'm like, wow, really? Because those things are ridiculous money.
If you live out in Hollywood.
Yeah. Actually, that's where they came from, California.
Hmm.
And let's just do our. You ready to do our?
Yeah, let's do it. Contest
time. All right, let's do screen share. So what we're gonna do is we have the 20 people that entered the contest, and we are going to randomly pick their names. I think I got this right. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Let me know when I'm ready. Okay, let me know if you see that.
Nope. Just your frozen face.
Oh, it's doing that again?
It's you looking up into the stars.
Well, that's how I am. When am I not that way? Google Hangouts and Chrome. Here we go.
We should tell everybody about how you and your mannequin go outside and look up into the stars.
No, dude. Oh, I forgot. Tonight there was a rocket launch at 6 o'clock. It was the 4th time it was called off, and tonight it actually went up. Damn it. I always forget that. I want to bring the kids out there to watch it. We only live like 20 minutes south of Cape Canaveral, so. All right. Can you see it now?
Nope.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I swear to God, Steve, you're joking with me, man.
I wish I was.
This is the screen. There we go.
There you go.
All right, so we got 20 people that entered, and we're gonna do. First, I'm gonna do 3 times. Lucky number 3.
So 1, 2, and on the 3rd time, it's the winner.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready, Steve?
I'm so ready right now.
It's down from 5.
Why don't you tell everybody what they're gonna win? What's the winner gonna get?
Here we go. Let's do this. All right, so they're gonna win. Your grand prize is 3 books, all of them. So it's gonna be the physical copy of Bonafide Hustler. Flip that shit.
No, it's Flip That Shh.
All right, it's Flip That Shh. He's sending me the copy. I should get it here tomorrow, and I'll send it out from here to them, to whoever wins it. And then the other 2 things are our special guest is giving away both of his books, ebook version of the 101 clothing brands to look for, and the Blazing Profits.
The ebook version, not the whole program.
Yes, exactly. Ebook versions for sports coats, blazers, and suits. All right, so here we go. 1, 2.
Hold on, let's do a drum roll.
Here we go. 3 last time.
Who's the winner? Who's the winner? Show it to him.
JB Typer.
JB Typer is the winner.
Yes. Message me on.
Oh my gosh, he just got a lot of value in 1 click.
A ton of value there. I mean, seriously.
I hope he knows who the Bonafide Hustler is. That guy has been hustling for, what, 10 years now?
Yeah, and he even said he's going to be making a book about bikes for everybody to go out there and flip the bikes. So, and he knows a lot about bikes.
Congratulations, JB Typer.
Yeah, so get a hold of me either through Thrifting Lounge. I have the link to join the group underneath our video here, or you can write on the on this video. Give me your email address or message me on my Facebook or something, some way or another, so I can get your email address, so we can talk about how I'm going to send it to you, your address and everything. So once again, the winner is JB, I want to say Typer maybe, Typr. He is the winner.
And I want to throw something out there, too, for anybody who's maybe disappointed that they didn't win. I'm actually holding a contest right now on my Facebook. So if you go to Facebook and you type in Raiken Profit, R-A-I-K-E-N, Profit, P-R-O-F-I-T, find me on there, like my page, and I think it's my latest post besides me advertising this hangout. It's a contest that I'm holding, and I'm giving away my full Blazing Profits training program. That's the book, the interviews,
I have that,
videos,
man.
and everything. It's the full program, and also giving away 101 killer clothing brands. And all you have to do is go over to Raiken Profit, my Facebook, and go into the post. It's my second post, my second latest post. Like it, and then post a link to a video that you've enjoyed in the reseller community. So maybe there's a video out there that you enjoyed. I posted one of mine, which was from the Bonafide Hustler. Before I'd even made videos, he had a video of him showing like a bike thing, and I posted that. So go over there, like it, send a link of a video that you liked, and I'm going to choose a winner once we hit 200 likes.
They can even send over this video, right?
You could send over this video. All you got to do is put a video in there, and I made that idea because I wanted a lot of people who follow me that are maybe new to see all the awesome videos that are out there by tons of different people. There's so many people in this community. I mean, a lot of people, they like to go by how many followers you have and subscribers, but that doesn't mean crap, honestly, because somebody who has 100 subscribers, I know people out there who have a few hundred subscribers that are saying awesome stuff, kicking my butt in sales. You know what I'm saying? And then there's other people out there who have 7,000, 8,000 subscribers. I mean, it doesn't matter about that. It just matters about what they're giving out. So I like to share the wealth and, you know, introduce new people to the scene.
Yeah, I definitely think content's a huge thing, though. Like, if you keep putting out consistent content and doing stuff like that, people are going to come to you and ask you for your advice and stuff like that. And that's what I love. That's the one thing I love about doing this is I hear, you know, people on a daily basis saying, man, I never knew about this brand, or thanks for telling me about this, and thanks for the advice and stuff like that. And it's like, it reassures me what I'm doing is positive, and I'm doing the right thing. Because that's the one thing that I think everybody needs is some self-assurance that what they're doing is right.
And also, keep going.
And I do take constructive criticism. Like, I'm not going to throw you out of my group if you delete a post or if you don't like me and say something. I'm not like that. Like, in my description in our group, it says a laid-back group. You know, I have 7 people. I have Sean Murphy from Cool Toads. He's a moderator. I have Bill Stoner, who's a moderator. And then I have Sam Zaki, who's been a follower since day one, since I started the Thrifting Lounge, and I knew he deserved it. So I have them along with the original 4, I call them the original 4, that started the group. So we have 7 of us now because the group's growing. It's growing at a rapid rate, and it's so hard for me on a daily basis to check all the messages. And like today, I just got a message from my eBay account. Someone asked me, you know, the Mickey Mouse mug, you know, there's too much light in the Mickey Mouse mugs. And I'm like, dude, that's like one of the first things I ever got. I mean, it's going to look crappy. I didn't even respond. I'm like, you know what, whatever.
I don't respond. If someone sends me a message to my eBay account, I don't even respond because...
I didn't respond either. It's what he said. He's like, I found you through a video or something, or a YouTube video or something. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, people are just trying to get a hold of you, but they don't realize that's your business and stuff. If people want to get a hold of you, they should go through your Facebook group or your YouTube, you know.
By the way of getting a hold of you, I want to shout out definitely the Green Room because they're doing awesome things. They're a paid group. Why don't you tell everybody what you guys do?
Yeah, so we're a Facebook group. We are a paid subscription-based Facebook group, and it's really a pretty awesome community over there. We're up to about, I think we're about 130-something members, and there's nothing wrong with free groups. Actually, this one, the Thrifting Lounge, is also pretty much a really awesome free group. I bet you'd agree that a lot of the free groups, there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of headaches. It's kind of hard to get your attention sometimes because there's so many people. So that's why we decided to go with the paid subscription group, because we knew that if you pay for something, you're really going to be dedicated, you're going to be motivated, you're going to be positive, and you're going to keep things on the same level. And it's pretty much a place where a bunch of like-minded people go to learn, educate, interact with one another. we put exclusive videos. It's me, the Bonafide Hustler, the College Picker, and Retro Aficionado. We put exclusive videos, articles, content, and we have a lot of big plans for it. We're actually in the process of working with a web developer, and we're going to be building a whole new site and with a lot of cool modules and stuff like that. So there's going to be a lot of value there. But just a place where, just like the Thrifting Lounge, where people go to learn and make more money, because that's pretty much the ultimate goal.
Yeah, and talk about what I do. You can see me on Wednesday nights in the resellers meet and greet with Ronnie Hart, Chad Pagel, Home Bobby. He's in there sometime. Justin Starcher. I mean, we've even had Bonafide Hustler and Retro Aficionado in there. I think a couple weeks back to back weeks, and it's a cool community because we're all, even though you guys are paid, but we all talk, and it's like it's no different than anything else. We're all friends and stuff like that in real life, and there's nothing against one of another. And I mean,
absolutely not.
People tell me about paid groups, and I go, you know what? I don't want any part of the negativity, because what you guys are doing is excellent, and what we're doing is awesome too. But so it's no difference. You're gonna learn anything anywhere you go. Paid group, you might learn a little more. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. And like I said, I have no problem with what you guys are doing. I like it, because you guys are just active in my group too. I've seen, I think today Chris was in there a little while, Bonafide Hustler was on there a little while ago, and I actually think somebody was asking about his book to buy from him. I actually got to get back to that person. But I mean, I think you guys are awesome at what you do for this community, and there's so many people out there now. I think it's like a really close-knit group, and what I've heard about the past, about the drama and stuff, there's nothing like that there, and I don't see that happening in the future either. And that's what we need to keep going, is a positive attitude and stopping negativity, because we all want to make money on eBay and have fun. Exactly.
You couldn't have said it any better, my friend.
Awesome. So thank you guys again for watching. He is Steve Raiken. I am Kevin Buccio from the Thrifting Lounge. And if you guys want different guests next week, let me know. Just type in the messages who you want to see, and I'll try to make it happen. I can't make promises.
Bring a mannequin on next episode, just type in mannequin in the comment section. Just be him as mannequin kicking it. So
dude,
maybe we can make that a guest.
I have no problem. I'll sit here one-on-one talking to the mannequin. I'll put my tablet up to him. I have him on my screen. We'll just sit there, But no, it was fun, Steve. Now I know we talked about last week because I just got the sport coat today. It's half canvased because I already cut it open from. Thank you, shout out to Golden Finger Picker for sending it to me for free. And I have one I'm going to cut up, and I'm going to do that video. Now, last week we were spitballing maybe me doing an interview on your channel,
right?
Steve, and then kicking it over to my channel so I can do that. I don't know if you still want to do that sometime next week.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's. I've never ran my own Google Hangout, so I'd have to figure that out. I'm sure it's pretty easy, like how to invite people and stuff like that. I'm usually on other people's shows, but if we could work that out, let's do it for sure. Have you on my channel, and have you reach a new audience and kind of talk about some cool stuff to some different people, and even the same people that are watching this. A lot of us that watch you, they watch me, and vice versa. So let's do it.
That sounds good, man. That's awesome. Thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, and I appreciate everybody watching, spending their time.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, guys. Until next time.